soybean exports. China has strategically put pressure on the US agricultural sector, not buying a single shipment of US soybeans. They are essentially fully dependent for their food supply, their security, on acquiring 100% of Brazil's export product capacity. This deal you've seen in September where you start showing orders. Look at since, someone took a tweet over his phone. China's now bought some shipments from Argentina. What that's actually telling me, like reading between the lines, China, like why would they do that when they have their BRICS partner? They've saturated Brazil's export capacity. They're acquiring 100% of the offtake, which means to keep their Jenga tower from crumbling, they need to go find some other soybean exports on the international markets. By definition, you can't go to US because you need to try to force a squeeze on Trump's popular support, break the farmers. So who do you go to? There's only so much capacity in town, Argentina. So now if you have Argentina and the US cooperating, kind of the OPEC of soybeans, if you will, and these two countries now can cooperate with each other, get better prices for their resource exports, and that'll play through the global financial markets as well as financial kind of global dollar system that we talked about, to start the process. Now, last thing, if you're Trump, you want to react with a measured response. You don't want to have this thing blow off and escalate. So I think you're watching measured actions. We're getting to the point where something may need to happen, like a strategic soybean reserve. We have to do this very carefully because from China's standpoint, having limited access to the rare earths is one thing. And this is where the DoD and Treasury are working on building up access to those supplies. They're basically going out to market and hoarding inventories of these key elements on the periodic table. Food access is a whole different thing, though. You can't feed yourself. That's literally base layer of Maslow's pyramid. I think this is where you see the statement from Trump earlier this week. Trump comes out and says, he's like, we do not want to destroy China. That's not their intention. So this is where he's actually, when I say Trump, Bessent, White House, their talking heads, they're going out there and being very measured and cautious on what they're doing here because they understand how these players, when you corner someone, a wild animal into the corner, it can get aggressive. So they're playing this one very cautiously. But that's kind of the nature of where things are. Highlights why this US-Argentina thing is such a massive deal for the Western Hemisphere and its progress towards self-sovereignty against foreign powers and intervention that we've really been fighting for 250 years.